Welcome to this webinar on basic cell physiology. We'll look at cell structure and function and then transport across the cell membrane, a slight diversion to discuss glucose uptake because it fits in nicely here, and then we'll consider the various fluid compartments within the body, followed by the epithelia and endothelia that separate them, and finally finish with a detailed discussion of capillary filtration because it crops up in many different places in our future study of physiology. So let's start our tour through basic physiology by talking about cell structure. So here is a typical animal cell, a typical eukaryotic cell. We have a cell membrane containing a cytoplasm in which are a number of organelles. And the important ones we need to know something about, I think, are the ribosomes, the mitochondria, the lysosome, smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi body, as well as, of course, the nucleus. So let's move on and talk about the cell membrane. Now, the membrane of eukaryotic cells is made up predominantly from phospholipid molecules. Those phospholipids are known as amphipathic molecules. That is, that they contain two regions. Firstly, they have a hydrophilic or water-loving head region containing a negatively charged phosphate group, and then two fatty acid chains which make up a hydrophobic tail region. When you place a large number of phospholipid molecules into a water-rich environment, they spontaneously aggregate together to form a phospholipid bilayer. Each molecule within the bilayer is arranged so that the water-loving or hydrophilic head region faces outside towards the aqueous environment, towards the surrounding water, and the hydrophobic or water-hating regions of the tails become tightly packed together on the inside of the bilayer to form a water-free interior to the phospholipid bilayer. Now, a typical 80 kilogram adult contains about 45 litres of water. That's about 60% of our body weight. And that's distributed into various compartments. As a useful approximation, about 2/3 of that 45 litres, so 30 litres, is found intracellularly, in other words, inside the body cells. And 1/3 or 15 litres is found outside the body cells, or in the extracellular compartment. Of that 15 litres of extracellular compartment water, most of it is in the extracellular fluid, so the fluid that bathes all our body cells. About 3.5 litres is found in the vasculature, in other words, is blood, and about 1.5 litres at any one time is in the lymphatic system.